Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel True Divine 44. You can also catch me at my Facebook page True Divine and The True Divine at Instagram and Twitter. Any likes, shares, subscribes and follows on either or both of those, not both, all of those platforms is greatly appreciated, and much love to everybody that does that so far. Those of you that have been with me from the start, where I started expanding this thing and giving back to the collective, I appreciate you so much, and I love you all for doing what you do and supporting me, guiding me, sending me beautiful messages to keep me on track. So I apologize that I missed yesterday. It's part of my daily content. I just couldn't get videos to upload, so I'm hoping this one uploads fine, and I had other things that I had to be doing, so I couldn't just sit and keep trying. So I do apologize. I hate missing and leaving you guys without a video. So this is the daily energy readings. I work with energy. I also work with tarot, as well as other things. So I pick up on the energies of the day, feel them out, see what I feel about them, see how I interpret them, and then I back that up via tarot and bring that to you just to give you that extra narrative for your day, some foresight, forearming and forewarning, some divine knowledge. So whether it resonates with you or not, you take what resonates here and leave the rest behind. When that's me or any other reader for that matter, or any conversation that you might have, always discern with your heart and find out whether it resonates with you there. Otherwise you can manipulate things into your life via the power of this beautiful mind that can trick us sometimes with our insecurities. So this is for the 12th of the 6th, so the 12th of June 2020, and it's the daily energy reading. So we changed up energies somewhat in that things are feeling a lot more tense, with the opposite side, everything in its balance. If you look for it, this real positive energy, this real standing together, people coming together, people congregating together to share real knowledge, real passion and truth. And so there's lots of things happening under the radar, but the positive stuff feels like to many that it's not there, because it's not being shown quite so much as the negative stuff on the mainstream media, on social media. Divisions are being shown, and you can fool yourself into thinking that that's the majority of the feeling, and it's not the energy that I'm feeling at all. The planetary alignments right down to the ground that we're standing on is supporting us to find the positive, to find the truth. And although it might be quite hurtful to hear the truth of how things have been constructed, how services and whatnot have been set up, it might hurt, it might be very disappointing, but always look for the positive in it, in that there is a promise here of a new reality where there is much more connectedness between all, much more ancient understanding of how we are all a part of the all, and how we should all be working together to do our part as individuals, find our individualism and be able to feel exalted in that individualism, to play our part, our role in this lifetime, in the life that we have here, this experience that we've been given, to feel, touch, smell, love, know pain and know how to heal from pain, all of the things that come with being human. And so we find ourselves with the Six of Pentacles for the 12th of June. It's in reverse though. Now the Six of Pentacles, I know you can't see the cards very well, but I like the grey today, so it's a bit of a rainy grey day, so I thought, grey day, grey video. So the Six of Pentacles is in reverse. Now for the people who've been following my videos, the daily videos, the Six of Pentacles has been very prominent, and it's kept coming up, and I've kept really paying attention to it because it's been a repetitive card throughout all of the daily readings. Not all, but quite a lot. But it's been in its upright position. Now in its upright position we're talking about generosity, reciprocity, and that's what we were seeing in the community when we got hit with this fakery, this fear factor, this thing that put a stop to the world, but we didn't quite see the fruition of what they were trying to make us fearful of. we saw that people were taking their place, making space to have a responsibility for others, for other people's welfare, for people who were in need. People were stepping up and coming together, which is a beautiful thing. Now, in the reverse, this speaks to the first wave of lies not quite working as they should, or did they? Because they got people who weren't doing the inner work, who weren't looking within, who were with family members that they maybe should have separated from years ago, friendship groups that they maybe should have separated from years ago, who were stuck in the house with people that they didn't resonate with anymore, without the reprieve of going to work or socializing with others or going for a walk in some cases. Then we've seen that this has built up this frustration, and many people have struggled, not all, not most, just many people have struggled to do that inner work. So did it fail or did it not? In my eyes, it didn't quite fail, because it got people to the point of breaking point. Then something else happened. Then there was, the murder of George Floyd, and it was well televised, and it was just enough to rile people up, to fall into the trap of going out and protesting for the racial division. It was causing racial division. I say they fell in the trap because there's nothing wrong for standing up to say we need to stand together. But it was very much made in the mainstream media into a racial war of only Black Lives Matter and all lives matter becoming a dirty sentence, when in any case, if somebody could step away from their triggers, away from their emotions, they would maybe see that what is wrong with that sentence. All life matters, all life does matter, plant life matters, animal life matters, human life matters. That shouldn't be a dirty sentence. But with the help of the mainstream media, that malevolent source that is out there and beaming into everybody's homes, then it was made into something that caused even more division. And all it took was a few actors to go in with some very cleverly placed bricks to, rile people up who had lacked the foresight and wisdom to be doing the inner work, so that they didn't have those triggers in place. Those triggers are the very thing that broke up this collective beauty that we were creating. And the mainstream media again makes it seem like it is everybody and everyone, and it is not. It is many, not even most. And so this has now derailed us into a confused state of fear, not fear, and then fear again, because we're frightened of what we can say now, we're frightened of what we can do, we're frightened to try and make a change, because it could be an excuse, a stage set for the malevolent forces to come in and rile things up and label what were peaceful protesters, with only very few people within that group that were lacking the wisdom to do the inner work, to be triggered. And so we're living in a place of not knowing quite what to do now, and being stuck in the middle of knowing that things aren't right. This speaks to lying. This speaks to jealousy. It speaks to carelessness. And so with that, the positive to take from this is that there has been much carelessness, that their plans aren't working as well as they were. The truth about the symbolism that they're doing, like taking the knee, is coming out quicker and quicker. The lies are running through their fingers like water. They can't hold them. So where do we go from here? It is up to us in our numbers to once and for all recognize that all of this huge division, whether it's religion, whether it is football, whether it is any sport for that matter, whether it is racial, it's manufactured. In our natural state, of course, there will be differences. Of course, there might be arguing and misunderstandings. But can you imagine a world where, if you were to take away all of the things that I've just mentioned, all of the things that are very well publicized and televised, to drive home that division, to reach into each person in different ways, to hook into the insecurities that they have or the prejudices that they have and grow them and pull them out and cause that reactionary state. If you can imagine all of those things being stripped away and all of those labels, all of those headlines, all of those things just not existing anymore, what is left? Humanity. Humanity, that most humans want to see others do well. Most humans recognize that if others do well, invariably they can do well. Most humans recognize that this is our planet, not your planet, not my planet, not their planet, our place to experience our life path. What if it was that we could take away this roof of elites, people that we don't get to see or know about? What if, with their dangling things into the humanity, into the community, what if we were able to strip that away? This would turn back upright very, very quickly, because people would want to work together to have a better life. People would want to strive for more. People would feel more connected. People would just see people as people on the whole. Of course, there will be exceptions to that rule. But how long has it been since we experienced this beautiful, great Mother Earth without this hidden aspect that keeps throwing these things that are very well versed and very cleverly thought out to hook into our insecurities, to hook into our lack mentality, to hook into all of that and pull it out into that reactionary state? Those things can be stripped away. Those things can dissolve into a much lesser and much lesser and much lesser degree until they're manageable for us to get to the root causes of these things. If we stop thinking about what they throw at us and start zooming up and zooming up and zooming up to get that eagle-eye view to see what is the root cause, who are the people funding this, who are the people that are creating this lack and divisive mentality, that's where we need to be thinking right now. And every time they throw a new spell into the collective for us to finish off that loop of that spell with our reactionary, judgmental states, it's up to us as individuals, each and every one of us, to resist that. Go within when we feel reactionary, go within when we feel triggered, and find out why, and pull that damn trigger out. Don't let it be a weakness to you, and certainly don't let it be a weakness to the man or the woman standing beside you, and certainly the children below you. So it is a case of that we need to be able to resist this mentality of being able to be hooked into quite so easily, and recognize that everything starts from within. It is the most simple concept, but it is the concept that has been attacked so much. We have much diversionary aspects in our daily life bombarding us constantly. They put so much money into that because it works for them. Because if we are doing the inner work, if we are whole, then we are a much stronger set of animals to take on, because we don't have those trigger points. We have a balance point, and we are able to dip into both aspects, the divine feminine, divine masculine within, the yin, the yang, that we are able to use both simultaneously. In balance, we are able to be both intuitive, thoughtful, compassionate, and we are also able to be action-led and able to go get what we need to get, gather what we need to gather, to nourish, to grow. So it is everybody's individual job to recognize themselves and see where they need to check themselves and pull out these things that would cause you to be reactionary or trigger led, because it is their main weapon so far within this whole time and space that this Six of Pentacles was coming up upright, and bingo bango, they come back in with another thing to divide the community. So those of you who are protesting from a good place in your heart, I understand the need to want to reach out to have change. but we need to try and change things at a core level, in a different way, from the inside out, to recognize that what is within, so without. If you are angry and insecure, then you're going to have that on your outside world. You're going to have things thrown at you that will anger you and make you feel insecure. If you are stormy inside, then you're going to raise a storm around you. If we are calm and balanced inside, we're going to bring in community, we're going to bring in wholeness, we're going to bring in connectedness. And so that is very poignant that this has turned all of a sudden. When these riots have started all over the world, it's turned very quickly into the reverse. And we were doing oh so well. It isn't about fighting physically. That's the trick that we've been sold. That's the lie that we've been sold. This is trickery. This is envy. So, try something different. Go within and tell everybody you know that that is the way that we then reflect the outside of us, the reality that we would all in our right minds want to see. And the few that didn't would be outnumbered very, very quickly, very quickly. The second card being this Page of Wands. So this is the fiery page. He wants change, and he's changeable. He's not fixed. He's not judgmental. He goes with his own flow. He changes his wants when his needs when his needs aren't met. He doesn't want to fight. He just follows his own path. He follows his own torch. He is very much an individual. He's very much on the move, athletic, ready to go, ready to act, ready to roll with the flow, the changes that the universe might bring in. Without being upset about it, he just finds another way, or he recognizes another want. So he's the seeker in that, but he's passionate about what he's doing. But at the same time, he's not going and lighting people up, or lighting things up for that matter. He's taking his own passions in his own heart and following his own path, not wanting to harm. He delivers the message. He delivers a passionate message of change, a different way to do things, a new way to look at things, a new way to fire up things and get things on the go. The third card is the Two of Pentacles, and this speaks of balancing two worlds. And this speaks to me that, we are in this space of not knowing quite what to do. And so we are trying to balance our feelings regarding this side, our feelings regarding the change that we're in at the moment, and also this side where we are trying to balance normality. We're trying to keep some kind of balance between the two. If we are to look at this side too much, then we're going to get drawn into the outside world and the fiasco that is going on. If we are to look at this side too much, then we're going to get too lost in ourselves, and we may want to cut off the world completely, which is totally understandable right now, but then we would be naive to do so. Because we do need to be the researcher, we do need to be the seeker of truth. We do need to deliver those messages of truth. But there has to be balance between the two. And say we can do this inner work. Say we can change the outside reality through our inner selves. We can only do this in the interim if we can keep a balance on ourselves, these two worlds, this maybe new reality here and this world that we're living in right now, this reality that we're living in right now. There is going to be resistance. These people with the Six of Pentacles, the people at the top, the people that aren't getting mentioned too much, or they get mentioned in a very clever way, they're not going to give up too easily. They've had this power for a long time, generation to generation to generation. It has been passed down, and they have been passionate about keeping it. We've been passionate about being reactionary to what they throw at us. Now it's time to balance the two. So yes, though we're moving into this, it might be very difficult to to stop that from happening. Sorry, there was a call coming in. I really don't want to do this video again, so please forgive me. I need to work out how to stop that. I'm so sorry. So we need to balance this new reality. We need to know that that we can maintain ourselves while things are getting thrown into the reality we're living in right now. All of these things that would seek to trigger us, that would seek to pull us into it. That's what makes it a reality. Our presence being there, our intent and our focus being on it, makes it a reality. Now, I don't want to pull away from the fact that we do need to be the researcher, we do need to be the seeker, in that if you feel strong enough, if you don't look at it. But if you feel strong enough, maybe start to dig into the people, the things that are at the top here, where these services came from, why there's such disruption with the police, why the police seem to be doing things so out of character, or so what we thought was out of character. And certainly not blaming the individuals within these services for that matter, because there are people within these services that have gone into these services wanting to do good, wanting to protect, wanting to help save life rather than take life. But the fact is that all of these services, healthcare, police work, social services, the schooling system, the university system, has all been set up by money from this hidden hand at the top. And so even though there are good people within all of these services, and there are, they are not to blame for being in that service. And yes, there'll be a few people in the know, just a little bit in the know, or asked to do things that they'll carry out this work to feed into the collective, to divide. But we can't blame the individuals. This zoom up higher than that. And so do the research, because you don't want to be left trying to bring in this new reality that is a positive one, that is a whole one, that a connected one. We can't do that without knowing what we need to rid ourselves of and what we need to not repeat, what we need to not let in again. So I hope that makes sense. It is this middle ground, this balance. To conclude it all, go within, find those trigger points. Don't allow yourself to have the weakness against those people that can pull on those trigger points. In your individual lives, this may be reflecting in your individual lives. It may be like you feel you have snakes around you. All of a sudden, people were pulling together, people were wanting to do good for each other, and then all of a sudden the energy changes because of things that have been thrown into the collective. All of a sudden you feel like you've got crazy people around you, snakes around you, that want to take from you rather than give. In that case, it is for you to do the inner work to see why you have these people in your life, why you're not living your true soul's journey, why you don't have yourself surrounded by people that you can trust. And it will be disappointing, it will be heartbreaking to see many fall foul to this envious, jealous nature and react in a way that would be predictable to the ones that threw in the toys for these people to play with and to get triggered by. And that is going to be disappointing. And so picture yourself, when you're seeing that, as this adventurer with his torch going into these two worlds, but following a new world, going towards a new reality that's full of positivity. So while you do your research, while you get clued up on what's been going on, make sure you're doubling down on your positive work, your inner self work, your meditation work, your music, dance. If you can't dance, if you're physically not able to dance, then dance in your mind. Put that positivity, double the amount to whatever you do research wise, or anything that you hear that is negative. Feed yourself that fire, feed yourself, light yourself up. Become a flame that cannot be extinguished by anything that is thrown into the collective pool, because all of you are capable of that, and all of you are worth feeling that. All of you are enough for anything, enough to do anything, and you deserve to be appreciated by those around you. If you're not appreciated by those around you, move on. Go where you find your peace. Go where you find your fire, your passion, your wholeness. So I'm sorry if that was a very interrupted video for the call. I don't want to disappoint or let down again, so I'm just going to put it up there. If it's too much of a problem, please leave a comment and I'll try and conclude this reading a little bit better. It threw me off a little bit, and if it is okay, let me know too, because I will be thinking, oh damn, is that okay or is that not okay? So much love. Be balanced as always. If you would like a reading with me, you can get in touch with me via any of the details below this video. You can also contact me on my True Divine page on Messenger. Other than that, be balanced, be whole, and I love you all. Stay positive. We've got this. We've got this. You've got this. Mwah.